What is going on, you guys? It's your girl Diana, back at you with another YouTube video. Today is Friday, November 18th, which means Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is officially released worldwide. So buckle up and get ready for a plethora of content on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I will be streaming the game over on my Twitch channel Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so if you do want to catch it live, feel free to hop over there. But in case you are not able to make the live streams, I will also be uploading the VODs here on my channel in a separate playlist. That way, even if you just want something to fall asleep to, you'll have a nice long gameplay video. But for today's video, we will be talking about the Path of Legends and why it should probably be your #1 priority. The Path of Legends is going to give you all the abilities that you need to be able to ride Koraidon or Miraidon around Paldea and explore the region in its entirety. So today I'll be giving you the inside scoop on everything you need to know about the Path of Legends, what Titans give you, what abilities, and some tips for you to be able to beat the Titans. So if you are new here, make sure that you hit the subscribe button so you are always up to date on the latest Pokemon news, and give this video a thumbs up if you are a Pokemon fan so we can push the video out into the YouTube algorithm so that more people can see it. And if you would like another way to support the channel, feel free to check out the merch store. There is a link down below in the description that takes you to not only my merch store, but also all of my other socials, so you can keep up with what I'm doing on a daily basis. And in case you are still looking for your own copy of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I did link them in my Amazon storefront down below as well. But let's go ahead and hop into the Path of Legends. Legends is the storyline that you take with Arven, where you'll be searching for the Herba Mystica. You're introduced to this storyline after talking to Arven in the cafeteria after you reach your school in Mezagoza. And after you finish the entire tutorial, you are able to mount Miraidon or Koraidon. However, at that point, they're kind of like a glorified bicycle and don't really have any abilities. Since you just found them on the beach, they're in their weakest form. So in order to get all of the abilities that you need to successfully explore the Paldea region, you will have to embark on the Path of Legends. The locations of all the Titans should be available on your map, and you can basically do them in whatever order you would like. However, obviously some Titans are higher level than others and will therefore be tougher to beat than others. So today I'm going to run through the Titans in order from easiest to hardest and let you know what abilities you'll be able to get after defeating them and a couple of tips to help you out along the way. The first Titan that you'll encounter is the Stony Cliff Titan Cloth, which can be found in the South Province area, literally hanging off the cliff. Cloth should be the easiest Titan to go up against, and you would probably be good going up against it around level 15, 16, somewhere in the mid-teens. Cloth is also a rock type Pokemon, which means he has a ton of weaknesses, so as long as you bring in a fighting, grass, ground, steel, or water type, you should be good to go, since those would all be super effective against it. And before I continue on the Path of Legends with you, the way that the Titan battles work is you face the Titan once by yourself, it runs away, you chase after it, and Arven comes to help you the second time around when it consumes the Herba Mystica, which basically recharges its health level and gives it a second wind to battle you again. But after defeating Cloth, you will have access to the sweet Herba Mystica, which you then feed to either Miraidon or Koraidon and get the dash ability. After defeating Cloth, the next Titan that you should encounter is the Open Sky Titan Bombardier, which can be found in the West Province area. I recommend going up against this Titan when you're around level 20 just to be safe. But Bombardier is a dual flying and dark type, which means it does have quite a bit of weaknesses as well. So it shouldn't be too much to worry about as long as you bring in electric, ice, rock, or fairy type Pokemon with you. Keep in mind, however, that because of its dual typing, it does cancel out its weaknesses to bug and fighting, so best to leave those guys in the box. But after defeating Bombardier, you should have access to the Bitter Herba Mystica, and after feeding it to your mount, you'll have access to the Swim ability. After defeating Bombardier, it is best to move on to the Lurking Steel Titan, also known as Orthworm. Orthworm can be found in the East Province area in one of the pits, and I recommend going up against this guy at level 30 just to be safe. Orthworm is a steel type Pokemon, but there is a catch. It does have the Earth Eater ability, which means that if you try to use a ground move on it, it actually absorbs the move and heals it. So using ground type moves literally increases its HP. It is weak to fighting and fire, but beware that if you do use a fire type, it does no ground moves. So unless you have a pretty high level fire type that can basically take it out in 1 or 2 hits, I would definitely veer away from using a fire type. But after defeating Orthworm, you should have access to the Salty Herba Mystica, which will give you the ability to high jump. The next Titan that you can encounter, known as the Quaking Earth Titan, will actually be a version exclusive. If you have the Scarlet game, you'll encounter Great Tusk, and if you have the Violet game, you'll encounter Iron Treads. This Titan can be found on the west side of the Asado Desert, and I would definitely recommend going up against this guy in the mid-40s. If you have Scarlet and you encounter Great Tusk, it will be a ground fighting type, and if you have Violet and you encounter Iron Treads, it'll be a ground steel type. For going up against Great Tusk, it is best to use moves that are either water, grass, fairy, flying, or Psychic, and you'd probably have a leg up on it if you did go with a flying type since it wouldn't be affected by ground moves. If you're going up against Iron Treads, you can use fighting, ground, fire, and water type moves. However, once again, beware of using fire type Pokemon because it is part ground type, so it can definitely deal some damage to your fire types. But after defeating either Great Tusk or Iron Treads, you'll have access to the Sour Herba Mística, which gives you the Glide ability. And the final Titan that you'll have to encounter in order to unlock all of the abilities that you'll need to travel around the Paldea region freely is known as the False Dragon Titan and can be found in the Castle Royal Lake. And this one is a little bit interesting because it is a 2-for-1, since you will be facing off against Dondozo and Tatsugiri. Since these are the final Titans that you should be encountering, they will be bulky and they will be high level, so I definitely recommend going up against them when you have Pokemon that are at least in the mid-50s. You'll start off by facing off against Dondozo, which is a pure water type, which means as long as you go at it with grass and electric type moves, you should be good to go. It does come back for round 2, however, after of course consuming the Herba Mística and getting powered up, but after you defeat it, there is a little surprise. And the true Titan Tatsugiri comes out of its mouth, which Tatsugiri is a dual water dragon type, which means that dragon and fairy type moves will be guessed to go up against Tatsugiri. But since it does know dragon type moves, it would probably be best to stick with the fairies. But after defeating Dondozo and Tatsugiri, you should get access to the Spicy Herba Mística, which gives you the Climb ability and now allows you to freely roam and explore the entire Paldea region. And as a side note, after defeating all of the Titans, Arven will want to battle you, and it's probably best to be around level 60 for that battle. But that is going to be your rundown to complete the Path of Legends and freely explore the Paldea region on Miraidon and Koraidon. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful, and of course comment down below what other video tips you want me to make for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you guys. Bye!